Orion Council here. Everything is alright. We want to communicate that all one needs is to access ancient memories which are resurfacing in many places at this time. Should you feel that you are not aware of these resources you have, you must recognize those abilities that are emerging in all. At this time, many are sensitive to energy. They say, I feel this way in that, and I want to ascend, I want to do this, I want to do that. But if you are in true alignment with your purpose, this is when you begin to access information. The scientific mind is constantly accessing new centers of knowledge located within the subconscious mind, eternally evolving into something you have never focused on before. So once again, we are talking about alignment, and we are talking about unity, we are talking about ascension. This means your higher self is involved in several processes, accessing information from the subconscious mind, as well as greater surges of momentum moving up the torso and into the atmosphere. The toroidal field expands and contracts. When you are loving yourself, you sense more energy. So recognize that it is a communication that is happening between yourself, other beings, and the synergy. So when you have energy, and you are speaking of synergy, you have an ongoing dialogue between the higher mind of the other and your higher mind, as well as attuning to the other person's senses within this planetary frequency. Where there is planetary frequency, there is also a support system that shows up when you are talking to other beings in other dimensions. Same goes for those of you who have arranged for this meeting, and you say, I cannot wait to have this exchange of information with those beings. We understand the communication must be slightly complicated. We have been asked to be very clear, but we must tell you that our methods are beyond vocabulary that you are hearing. You are sensing frequency. The Orion Council has a resonance to this location. Sasani are watching the communication. Very soon, people will around you feel greater love. It is a scientific perspective that your helpers from non-physical have come through the dimension to show you what it is about yourself you are needing to recognize. The toroidal field goes outward and inward. It expands and contracts. It evolves, and it also calls in other energy. So you are sensing other people here, and you are going, oh, I cannot believe my toroidal field has expanded in such a way. But the loving energy field has many options for experiencing itself. The show must go on, as you say. The show must go on. You must experience, you must release, and you must also allow yourself to forgive those who have done wrong unto you. And the presences of others who love you is an amazing feeling. The toroidal field feels it. Your whole energy body aligns to itself. Resonance happens when you are in a loving energy. When you are going through your mind, you are saying, I feel this, but I am not safe here. Sometimes you must feel safe around love. Sometimes you must feel safe receiving alignments, and you sometimes must feel safe going out and experiencing. Trees are important at this time. In this location, our channel has seen a tree that has not grown from this location, but it was constructed, and she was quite excited because she said, Orion Council, there will be many people gathering underneath this tree. And so there were energies that were in alignment and energies that were not in alignment. And our channel says, I do not like this energy. I'm glad that I continued my momentum because I must experience. And when you are not feeling quite well and you say, I'm not enjoying this, was it an experience? Was it simply my emotions? What happened here? Was I supposed to do it differently? The mind is constantly going through the different options, and your feeling is showing you the correct direction. So when you are doing your work on the planet, you are sensing exciting energies, and you say, this was not exciting. What is correct, because my feelings lie to me? This is many of you are having this thought. This is a repeating pattern we have seen throughout this planet. train yourself to forget about all the options and understand how you feel. But you'd say, Orion Council, it is not logical to have feelings because feelings will hinder my judgment. Might we add that your mind is constantly doing many tasks? It is not simply going through the options. While you are contemplating your emotional response, you are also receiving a fluctuating pattern in the energy body, which is trying to direct the consciousness of the expanded self. The expanded self is communicating with other expanded selves, and therefore your experience is not always one of disapproval or self-judgment. It is also an experience of understanding what has taken place. At times you perceive an experience to be not in alignment, but for another it was perfectly in alignment. And you are a part of this sharing of energy, and the other person said, oh well, I have learned from this experience, and now the situation has expanded onto itself, and we see this ongoing process taking place. You do not see the outcome. It is all right. Sometimes a being will enter your auric field and you say it was not a welcoming energy. The sum of your energies, however, is oftentimes beautiful, because parts of you are in agreement and parts of you are not. And this is how many of you go about making your choices. You are a sum of many layers and you interact in multidimensional ways. Some of you have awareness of the multidimensional energetic exchange, and some of you say, well, Orion Council, there is not multidimensionality, there is simply physicality. And for those who believe there is only physicality, we want to address this idea that your mind is a physical and it creates with a physical information, but your experience was not physical. Your experience was holographic, it was exciting, and it was also colorful. The sharpest mind has not understood that on your earth, how beautiful it is to exchange auric energy body content. The toroidal field has information. You do not recognize how much of it, but it simply is so. We recognize many of you have a scientific perspective, and that is what is necessary for the patterns to be understood by some who are studying. The resonance is great when you work with energy body, and the resonance is great when you work with same type of body, because your highlighting abilities will direct the frequency flow, the flowing of frequency through the body, and that is the that is the sword in the stone. That is why you have excitement. The sword has not been pulled, the energy body was not aligned, and you enjoy the alignment process. Great work for many of you have sewn up for the planet, and so many have said, although I am not in enjoyment, I will still complete this energy body transmission of self to another being, and that other being will now have an experience which will help in their expansion of awareness of who they are without worrying about the physical vessel. This is what is being practiced on your earth. People exchanging knowledge without physical interaction. They mean that they have a resonance and they go with that energy current. The resonance shows how many times you vibrate in an external pattern. The same goes for some of you who feel your body was nourished. The nourishing happens when you do the things you are wanting to do, but your weaknesses are acknowledged, and that is peaceful energy, correct? The resonance means you go outside and you get information, you process it, your body says that is how it feels, and you share information through the toroidal field with other beings, sometimes non-verbally, sometimes in a sense you are touching their hand and they receive information. You must also recognize the scientific mind resonates with a scientific field. Inside of the field of science, there are many groups, and those many groups are directed by different perceptions. The perceptions are what are guiding you towards an expanded sense of planetary awareness. Imra is trying to tell you that the air is full of information, the sea is full of information, the earth and the spiritual energy, also planetary guardianship frequencies, and soon you will notice the craziest thing taking place when you accept these realities. Area 51 was always active, and now you are moving into a time where there will be many areas of different numbers which have a greatest opportunity for an exchange of information through the air, through the sea, and through the earth. Your spirit already knows what is happening, so it is. We are complete.